Good morning, everyone. This is Arna Rana here, your social science teacher from Cambridge International School, the SUA. I welcome you all in today's session. I hope you all are happy, healthy, safe at your home. So, dear children, as we have started revision nowadays, and today we are going to do the revision of Geography Chapter 3, that is Motions of the Earth. So, can we start? Yes. Geography Chapter 3, Motions of the Earth. So as usual, first of all, we always discuss the lessons objectives. So today's lessons objectives are to know about the rotation and revolution, to know about the circle of illumination, to understand the formation of leap year, to know about the solstices and equinoxes. Lessons outcomes. At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to know about the rotation and revolution. They will also able to know about the circle of illumination. They will be able to understand the formation of leap year, and they will also come to know about the solstices and equinoxes. So dear children, as the name is motions of the earth. So first of all, let's discuss what is motion. Motion means movement, the movement of anything. And here in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the movement of the earth, like how the earth moves. So as we know that the earth moves in two ways, and we are calling them, one is rotation, other is revolution. On your screen also you can find one image which is showing Earth's rotation. So let's discuss its definition. The movement of the earth on its own axis is called rotation, and it takes 24 hours to complete its one rotation. The period of rotation is known as the earth day. And one other very important thing, that the earth moves from west to east. Okay, let me repeat again. The movement of the earth on its own axis is called rotation, and it takes 24 hours to complete its one rotation, that is also known as one earth day. And the earth moves from west to east. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now second one is revolution. So as there is one image on your screen, you can see like we have shown the different positions of the earth during one particular year, during one revolution. Okay, so these are the four major positions of the earth during revolution. Let's discuss the definition. The movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed orbit is called revolution. I hope all of you are aware of orbit. Orbit means the fixed path on which the earth moves around the sun, that is known as orbit. And it takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete its one revolution. And this revolution, it causes change in seasons on the earth. Let's repeat. The movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed orbit is called revolution, and orbit is the fixed path on which the earth moves around the sun. It takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete its one revolution. It causes change in seasons on the earth. Okay, now there is one very interesting concept given in this chapter, that is of the leap year. I hope you all are aware of it. Yes, every fourth year February has 29 days instead of 28 days, and such a year with 366 days is called a leap year. Okay, now dear children, have you ever like think of it, like from where like this one day is coming? Every year we having 365 days, but suddenly in the fourth year there are 366 days. Okay, so it's not a magic. Let me explain it. Earth takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete its one revolution. Okay, I hope you all are aware of this thing. But for our convenience, we consider only 365 days and ignore 6 hours, which are added to make one day in the fourth year. Okay, for example, in the 1 year there will be 6 hours. Again in the second year there will be other 6 hours, which will be, if we add them, they will be total 12 hours. In the third year also there will be 6 hours which will be added, they will be total 18 hours. And in the fourth year again those 6 hours we are adding and they are becoming 24 hours. And 24 hours, that is equal to 1 day, and that is added in the month of February in the every fourth year. So every fourth year we have 366 days instead of 365 days. Okay. Now you will be not surprised whenever there is any leap year, as you people are aware of this concept now. Yes. Now next is circle of illumination. The circle, I know you all are aware. Circle, it is like the shape. And what is the meaning of illumination? Illumination means light. What is the circle of light? So as you can see on this on your screen, in this image also, you will find one line which is dividing the day and the night. Okay, the day portion, this yellow color, it is representing the day, and this black color, it is representing the night. So there is one line which is dividing the day and the night on the globe. So this is only the one part of the earth which we are able to see. Same is happening on the other side also. Okay, there will be also again one line which is dividing the day and night, and that this is now a circle. It is not a line, because here we are able to see only the one side of the earth. But if we see the whole globe together, then it will become one circle. Okay, and this circle is known as the circle of illumination. Now let's discuss about the definition. The circle that divides the day from the night on the globe is called circle of the illumination. Okay, because here we are able to see only one line, but if we see the whole globe, then it is a circle. So we are calling it a circle of illumination. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, let me repeat. The circle that divides the day from the night on the globe is called circle of illumination. Second one is orbital plane. What is orbital plane? The plane formed by the orbit of the earth is called orbital plane. Okay, the plane formed by the orbit of the earth is called orbital plane. Now you can see in this image also. Okay, this is your earth. And here you will find, like, they have shown three important parallel of latitude. One is Tropic of Cancer, other is equator, and third one is Tropic of Capricorn. Then you are able to find one axis also, okay, which is joining the North Pole and the South Pole. And you can see this axis, it is little bit tilted. Okay, it is not up to 90-degree angle, it is little bit tilted, which we can easily find on the globe also. Okay, whenever you will see a globe, you will find that globe is little bit tilted. Okay, so this axis, this tilt of the earth, it is making an angle of the orbital plane. Orbital plane means the path on which the earth revolve around the sun. So it is making an angle of 66.5 degree with this orbital plane. Okay, and okay, now let's discuss about the other thing. I hope this is clear. Orbital plane. Okay, with this image I have shown you like how it is making an angle, how there is one angle of inclination with this orbital plane. Okay, now next we are going to discuss about the seasons. So as we all know that there are 4 main seasons, like if we are talking about India, like winter, spring, summer, autumn. But how these seasons occur on the earth, how there is change in the season. So this change in the seasons is due to the revolution of the earth. Okay, as the rotation of the earth causes day and night, in the same way the revolution of the earth causes change in seasons. So we are going to discuss about this one by one. Dear children, now on your screen you are able to find one image which is showing the solstices. So let me discuss it, and I request everybody to listen carefully. Okay, So what happens, like I have shown you one image also. In that image I have shown you the four positions of the earth while it is revolving around the sun. So these four positions are very important positions. So first of all I want to discuss about the summer solstice. So as you can see in the summer solstice, like the north pole is tilted toward the sun. Okay, these yellow color, these arrows, okay, these are the sun rays. So this north pole is tilted toward the sun, and the sun rays, they are falling directly upon the tropic of Cancer. Okay, means in the northern hemisphere. So in the northern hemisphere there is the they have the long days and the short nights, and this position is of 22nd June. So on 22nd June we have the longest day and the shortest night in the northern hemisphere, and this position of the earth is called summer solstice. Okay, now let me repeat again. What happens on 21st June? The rays of the sun, they fall on the tropic of Cancer. Okay, so here we have the longest day and the shortest night, and we are calling this summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, and the opposite or the reverse thing, they are happening in the southern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere there will be the shortest day and the longest night, and it will be their winter solstice. Okay, so I just mean to say, when we have summer solstice in the one hemisphere, there will be the other solstice in the other hemisphere. So this is the position of the earth on the 21st June. Now after 6 months, as you can see in the other image, they are telling about the winter solstice. Okay, so on 22nd December, the rays of the sun, they fall directly on the tropic of Capricorn, and you know very well the tropic of Capricorn is in the southern hemisphere. So when these sun rays fall there, there will be on this particular day, there will be the longest day and the shortest night. Okay, and there will be the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, and reverse is happening in the northern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere we will have the shortest day and the longest night. Okay, and there will be the winter, this will be the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. As you people know that India is in the northern hemisphere, and during the month of December we have winter in India. Okay, so it is clear from this also, we have the short days and the long night, and we are having the winter also. So there is winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. At the same time in the southern hemisphere there is the summer solstice. Okay, so when there is one solstice in the one hemisphere, on the other hemisphere there will be the other hemisphere. Okay, when there will be the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, there will be the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. And when there will be the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, there will be the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. Means whatever is happening in the one hemisphere, the reverse of it is happening in the other hemisphere. So I hope this summer solstice and the winter solstice is clear. Okay, now I have written definition here. So what they are telling here, same thing whatever I have discussed. Like when the southern hemisphere experiences the winter season, it is summer in the northern hemisphere, and at that point in time the position of the earth on 21st June is called summer solstice. And what is the winter solstice? When the southern hemisphere experiences the summer season and reverse occurs at the northern hemisphere, at that point in time the position of earth on 22nd December is known as is called the summer solstice. Okay, now there is one question. Why do poles experience 6 months day and 6 months night? Okay, so as you people are able to see, like this, like the axis, due to this axis of the earth, due to this angle of inclination, earth is little bit tilted, and sometimes the north pole, that is away from the sun, and sometimes the south pole is away from the earth sun. As you can see in this diagram also, Like here this north pole is away from the sun, and here this south pole is away from the sun. As you can see, here they are showing the darkness. Here also they are showing the darkness. Okay, so it is clear from here. The poles experience 6 months of day and 6 months of night due to the inclination of the earth on its axis. Same thing I have discussed with you. And this inclination keeps one pole towards the sun and another pole away from the sun for 6 months each. Is it clear? Due to the inclination of the earth on its axis, the poles, sometimes the one pole is away from the sun and one is toward the sun, and sometimes the other pole is away from the sun and the one is towards the sun. Now next one is equinoxes. What is the meaning of equinox? Equinox means equal. So what is equal? We are talking here about day and night. When the rays of the sun, they fall directly upon the equator, there will be equal day and equal night. As you can see in this image also, there is the equal distribution of this day and night portion. The whole earth is divided into two parts, means the equal length of day and the equal length of night. So this position of the earth is called equinoxes. And on 21st March and September 23rd, direct rays of the sun fall on the equator. At this position, neither of the poles is tilted toward the sun. Therefore, the whole earth experiences equal days and equal night. And this is called equinox. I hope this is clear. Okay, again let me repeat it. Equinox means when the whole earth experiences equal day and equal night. And how it happens? It happens because the sun rays, they are falling directly upon the equator, and we have 12 hours day and 12 hours night. Okay, and these equinoxes, they occur on 21st March and 23rd September. So dear children, that's all about today's session. Okay, I hope most of the things, they are clear to you, and still you people have any doubt, then we are going to clear that in your online sessions. Okay, and with these words only, I just want to say, keep learning, keep growing. God bless you all. Thank you everyone.